So for this one here, Jada makes sparkling juice by mixing 3 cups of sparkling water with 5 cups of apple juice. So just like the other day, I made sure that we have a grid here so that we can see the relationship between the sparkling water, in which I made S, and the juice, which I made J. So if we see here, for every 3 cups of sparkling water, we have 5 cups of juice. So we could continue this to see a couple different iterations of this. So if we had 3 cups, there would be 5 cups of juice. If we have 6 cups of sparkling water, then we would have 10 cups of juice. If we had 9, we'd have 15, and we could go so on and so forth. But what we need to remember is that there's a pattern here, there's an equation that we're doing to get from 3 to 5, from 6 to 10, and from 9 to 15. So we're not adding because, again, we need to keep the same amounts of these liquids. So in this case here, it's not adding 2 because this one here is adding 4 and this one here is adding 6. So what we need to realize is that we're multiplying by something to get this number here. So what we end up finding is that if we multiply 3 times 5 over 3, that gives us 3 times 5 over 3, which these 3's cancel out. Or we get 15 over 3, which simplifies to 5, which is our amount of juice. So what our pattern is that we're multiplying the amount of sparkling water times 5.3. So if you're to create an equation from that, if I skip down here to number 4, saying that S and J are the cups of sparkling water and cups of apple juice, if we were to write an equation, we see that the S here, the sparkling water, we're being multiplied by 5 over 3, which gives us our juice. So here's our equation for number 4. For number 1 and 2, it just asked if we have 20 cups of apple juice. So we could do one of two things. One, we could plug in 20 cups into the juice, or the J here for our equation, or we could just continue our grid here. So if we're adding 5 each time here, and we're adding 3 each time here, we end up getting 12 for 20 cups. So in this case here, it's 12. Same thing, if we had plugged in 20 here, we'd be solving for S, so we would divide by 5 over 3, and 20 divided by 5 over 3 ends up getting us 12. Same thing goes with here. If we have 9 cups of sparkling water, we can just look at our little graph here, grid here, that says 9, and we know that there's 15 cups of juice. Now, if we need to plot those points on the graph, we can just see them right here. So we have this one and this one as well. So cups of apple juice is, for the first one, we have 15, which is right here, and that is associated with 9 cups of sparkling water. So we match those up and we get a little point right here. And for the next one, we had 12 cups of apple juice or 12 cups of sparkling water, which is right here, and 20 cups of apple juice, which is right here. So if we follow this up here, little point right there. So for number 1, we got 12. For number 2, we have 15. 3, we plotted the points here. And for 4, we have our equation.